Welcome to Hildestone College's quick lesson series where our teachers give you some English language tips.
Hello again. Now many learners panic when they see the words first, firstly, first of all and at first because they don't feel confident about using them correctly. So let's break it down and make it all a bit simpler. At first has a different meaning to the others, so we'll look at that phrase before we go on to those. We use at first when we're introducing a contrast or a change in a situation. Imagine, for example, you've changed your mind about something. You might say, at first I wasn't sure I'd be able to remember the difference, but then I learned it was easy. You can see that here we're contrasting your feelings at the beginning of a situation with a later time when you knew more. At or in the beginning is a good synonym for at first, and you can also use at the start. At the start of the course, for example, I wasn't sure it would be useful, but it was really good and I learned a lot. So you might want to think of this as a two-part phrase, whether you use both parts or not. At first, blah, 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 but then, or but now, blah, blah, blah. The but reminds you of the contrast between the start of a situation and a later time. Okay? Now for some good news. First, firstly, and first of all have basically the same meaning. It's just where they're used differs a little. They're all ordering phrases, so they show the sequence that things happen in. Now, in a recipe for baking a cake, usually you read, number 1, first preheat your oven, because that's the first of several steps or instructions. Instructions need to be short, so we use a short word. That's my theory, at least. I certainly connect first with instructions or processes that have a short description. Firstly has the same meaning, and I checked with some dictionaries just to say what they would say about the differences between firstly and first. They didn't all say the same things, sadly. One told me that firstly is more common in British English than American English. And another told me that firstly is more formal than first. Now, I don't know enough about American English to judge relatively whether a phrase is more common in one form of English or another. But I can tell you I would be much more likely to use firstly than first in academic writing or in a formal speech. Now, some of that is because I connect first so much with instructions, but the other side of that is that firstly is more common then in essay writing, for example. So there you go. That's probably a good guide to how you should use them. First of all, again, has the same meaning, but it's more emphatic. So I'm more likely to use this phrase either when I have many things to say, and I want to mark this not just as the first, but also the most important, but I would also use it, whether in speaking or in writing, when I'm making an argument. And I think there it's partly psychological, actually, because of course saying first of all underlines that you have many ideas to support your point, which of course is a useful strategy to convince your reader or listener. So there's something possibly a little manipulative about that phrase. So to summarise, at first introduces a situation which later changes. First, firstly, and first of all are all used for sequencing. Use first for instructions or processes which need a short description. Use firstly in more formal forms of writing or speaking. And use first of all when you want to be a bit more emphatic. And that's all there is to it, really. So good luck. Let me know if there are other topics which interest you, and I'll see you again soon for another quick lesson. Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please click on the like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the bell icon so that you don't miss the next video. That's it for this lesson. Until next time, goodbye.